Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for game 2 of the series I started last night, and once again a clash between these two teammates, both of them members of Team Old Generation Starcrafters, and both of them GSL frequent flyers. Again, a ZVT between these two Korean pros, spawning here on this 3 o'clock position. You're gonna have the blue Zerg, oGsZenio, GSL frequent flyer, pro gamer, one of the most well-known Zerg players from Korea, and he's gonna be facing his teammate, here spawning on this 9 o'clock position on Terminus, the red Terran, oGsHyperdub, also been around on the GSL for a long time, and such a solid Terran. Being both of them on the same team, I'm assuming that they know their opponent's playstyle in and out. They practice a lot together, so I don't know, we might see some kind of surprise to try to throw your opponent off based on the fact that they know their opponent so well. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see a bit longer. For now, they're just starting their openings. As you guys know, here on Terminus there's a tendency, or at least players feel quite prone to expand quickly. I mean, the map is really big, the rush distance is quite long. As you can see, you're gonna have cross positions, so it would be a good option, but apparently Zenio is not gonna go for it. Instead, he's still getting his spawning pool first. Not sure exactly what he's planning by now, but like I was saying, there's also a tendency for players to come down and grab their natural. There's even some occasions where they risk and go for a really fast third, but apparently Zenio is just gonna get some defenses. Not sure if he's waiting for any kind of early harass from his opponent, but apparently not. And on the Hyperdub side, he's just taking care of his wall off, getting the racks up, and then probably gonna shut it tight there with one more supply depot. Now, as I can see there on the production tab, Zerglings by the pile, actually 8 Zerglings coming out. That's quite a lot, and Zenio is sacrificing at least, I would say, around 2-3 workers to get that amount of Zerglings. I'm wondering why does he want that many this early on, based on the fact that the map is this big and takes really long to get your opponent's base. But maybe one of the options would be to split them all around the map and make sure that your opponent is not going for any kind of proxy trickery shenanigans stuff. But no, apparently he's just going straight into Hyperdub's base, while Hyperdub's SCV is kind of a bit lost. As you guys can see, he's getting there all the way on the south. There's nothing here for him, so probably he's gonna head straight into Zenio's base this time. While Zenio finally arrives with his Zerglings here, but I mean, it's completely tight shut. He's not going to be able to climb up there, and we have the Rex just making some Marines out. Inside his base, Queen already done, the spawning pool is rolling, there's no signs of grabbing gas to get any kind of Zergling speed, at least not this early. But I do see Zenio sending a drone, so I guess he's gonna grab his hatch now. There it is, so 20 hatch on the Natural Expo, with the SCV just arriving here, so noticing that he just grabbed his Expo, and now trying to enter the base, but there's a Queen here already, so I don't expect much coming out of this SCV, to be honest. He's trying to keep himself on the edge of the creep because he knows that the Queen will be able to poke at him if he starts getting really deep on the creep. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be very successful. There it is, SCV finished, no more scouting there. And meanwhile, inside Hyperdub's base, command center, so he's getting ready to expand, and on the back of his racks he's getting a factory, also attaching a reactor here. I'm wondering if you're gonna have maybe a switch here and start pumping out some Hellions. Hellions are just awesome against mineral lines and Zerglings. They roast everything and could be an interesting option. But I'm just gonna sit down a little bit here and see if that's gonna be the case. Yeah, it's already lifting up, so we're gonna have some Hellion harass. Like I was saying, they're just brilliant against Zerglings, and on the mineral line, roasting drones is just brilliant, awesome, and provide a lot of damage to the economy of Zenio, I'm sure. So let's see how many of those Hellions is he actually gonna make. For now, he's getting the first batch out too, but being him focused on getting that switch, getting the reactor rolling, I'm assuming he's gonna make a pretty interesting amount of Hellions, and not only these two. One more, 2 more, yeah, there it is, more Hellions coming out, and he's probably gonna start darting towards his opponent's base and start roasting some of these drones and Zerglings that keep wandering around here. But I mean, Zenio doesn't have much of an army. 5 Zerglings, and now Roach is coming out, but that's it, so it's not even close to enough. The Hellions are just going here back and forth. Got a bit of a roast on that Zergling, but basically just announced him that the Hellions are coming, and the Zerglings survived anyway. The Hellions are just finishing off, wrapping up all the scouting required for him to have most of the map investigated. As you can see by his vision, he's been checking all corners, and like I was just commenting, inside Zenio's base we already have the Roach Warden here, so he's probably trying to react to the Hellion play. Roaches are very effective against Hellions. Also an Evo chamber there on that corner, and now a second queen, so maybe he'll be able to get his queens locked in here, would be a good option. Two queens on the ramp wouldn't allow the Hellions to climb up, and he incoming the Hellions, the pressure is on, and Zenio will have to defend this. He doesn't have much of an army at the moment. Couple of roaches, the queen's starting to go to that ramp and trying to block, but no, there's still a little gap, and the Hellions were able to escape, and now they're gonna be into this mineral line, and the roast will start. Oh, big damage done on the worker line. Look at how many drones is he losing. And the Hyperdub just racking up the kills here with these 4 Hellions taking quite a while to be killed. 3 now, there's still 3 rolling, and stopping all the production here for Zenio, and roasting so many of those workers. All of those Hellions had plenty of kills. Finally the rest was finished off, but at what price? As you can see, the worker count is quite similar at the moment, but this means that Zenio was already quite ahead and probably was preparing himself to make a worker count transferred to this third base that he just picked up. Now he's gonna have to stack it up once more. On the economy is still fairly balanced, but they just lost a good chance there to pull ahead on the economy game. More Hellions coming, so Hyperdub is just committed to this Hellion play. He grabbed his Expo meanwhile and getting all the gas he can. Notice as well that inside his base there's more factories, so plenty of mech play ensuing for now. Even a third factory. This is quite interesting. It's not every day that I see a Terran player going mech to face the Zerg player, at least not as deep, because I haven't seen much of a Bioforce for now, and he's basically transitioning from the Hellions into siege tanks while having a massive roast once more, this time on the natural export from Zenio. So many workers getting killed. Massive pain. Look at the gap there. 40 against 20 workers, and this assault with the Hellions paid off so much. Yeah, look at Zenio. He's just annoyed, I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, he just had a massive hit on his economy, and now he's gonna have to sacrifice a lot of his plans to keep rolling his mineral lines. Probably will have to delay the build-up of his army. He's just so far behind now on the economy and on the worker count. I mean, he won't have anything to send to this third base for quite a while, I'm assuming. Taking a look at Hyperdub's side, we now have siege tanks to back up that Hellion play. He actually doesn't have much of a Bioforce. Let's take a look at the armies. 3 Roaches, 3 Queens, 2 Zerglings, basically non-existent, the army from Zenio. 3 Marines, 4 siege tanks, 4 Hellions, so quite mech heavy. I'm actually quite curious to see how far Hyperdub is going to be able to go with this, because well, mech, besides Goody, Goody is the guy that loves this mech, and I am not even used to see this much mech and Hellion play transitioning into siege tanks, going this often against Zerg, but it's all interesting. As you can see, you're already playing out of 4 factories, getting now a armory on the back. Will it be to get more upgrades? Maybe we'll see some Thors backing up the rest of the mech. And meanwhile inside Zenio's base, now getting his hatchery morphed into a lair, and on his expo everything just fine for now. Finally trying to saturate the count of workers there and sending some workers to this position. The problem is, for him to actually get there, he sacrificed a lot on his army count. As you can see, he's way behind, 107 against 66 at the moment. And on his unit count, I mean, he has 4 Roaches and 3 Queens. There's nothing compared with 10 Hellions, 7 siege tanks, and 4 Marines. I mean, he doesn't have what it takes to defend. He needs to get at least some static defenses. But no, Zenio just witnessing and stating the obvious. He was being pushed at the moment. The forces from Hyperdub were arriving on his bases, and he didn't have anything to do. I mean, he couldn't defend it, so he just GG'd before he got crushed and trampled over, and probably gonna try to do something else on game 3 to take the win on this series. Game done. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later.